Hello there, this is Cindy at cindybdesigns.com. Thank you for joining me today. These are the three alternative cards that we will be making from the January 2025 Hearts for You paper pumpkin kit. And I only brought in the Marbled Elegant Suite collection, and we'll get into that a little bit later. So that, the instructions for our kit. And then I made the kit cards for you, and they're coming up. And last Wednesday, I did a video on Facebook, a live one, and just showed you what was in the kit. And and now that I put them together, there's a lot to it that I wasn't expecting. You have like the little punch out of the hearts in that card there, some stamping on it. Then you put on some of the embellishments and the punch outs. And then this one is like a scrapbooking card, like a Memories More card on top of that. And again, you'd hear another embellishment to that. And then the card that I said that has these little teeny tiny pink hearts in the background, those pink hearts actually help you line up those hearts that you're going to put on top with Stampin' Dimensionals. So those are the three cards. And the kit colors in this are Flirty Flamingo, Petal Pink, Real Red, and Champagne Foil. I also brought in the Bloom Impressions Designer Series paper that's from Celebration. And there's some great patterns in here. They're very fun, very whimsical. They go great together. So I kind of want to take that apart, later on and do other projects with that. And then again, the Marbled Elegant Suite collection with the stamps, dies, and paper. And other than that, I stuck to pretty much the kit. I mean, you can use anything that you want. We all have heart dies on hand, but this one here that I used is actually from Give It a Whirl dies, which they are retired. But there's so many, to me, staples in that die set that I just kept it on board. So we're going to start out with a piece of, I'm going to measure because I forgot, 3.5 across, and it's going to be 5.5 down. So what I wanted to do was get that center heart down there because I'm lining all those hearts up in Roy G. Biv. So anyhow, I cut the hearts out of that designer series paper just for something that's out of the box a little bit for our first card. So I got that down. It was kind of in the wrong place, but you saw me take the ruler and measure in. So in the middle is like, 1 7/8, and the bottom, I'm going to say like 3, a little bit over 3. But I will have all that over on the blog at cindybdesigns.com. So this time around, I thought I would get everything lined up. And then I'm thinking, what did I do? So when I took that other heart off, or coming up, I changed gears here and I got my middle down, but it's not adhered yet. I thought I would come in from the right and left hand side, but start with the middle row. And so I took those hearts out, the edges of them, to pretty close to the edge there. I mean, they're not overhanging, but it's tight. And I'm using my grid mat, to help me get them placed. I use that dotted line on the left and the right, as you can see there. So I got that down, and then this will allow me to get that center heart, well, right in the center. So I got that down, and then after this, everything else is actually, it goes quick and very easy to do. So I wanted to get my hearts put together in the Roy G. Biv order from the center on down to the bottom there. So there's a total of 15 hearts on here. And I'm going to lay down the red one up top and then the purple one on the bottom and work my way upwards with that, and then just end up bringing myself inwards on the side there. So as I'm getting all the hearts adhered down, I super sped it up a little bit because I'm basically doing the same thing. And I do have the Stampin' Dimensionals from the kit on the back of these hearts. Now it's really not weird, but something that my eye caught We have our mini Stampin' Dimensionals and then the full-size ones. And the ones offered in this kit, they're like in between those sizes. And I think that's really awesome and something I'm definitely going to suggest for sure. So I'm getting all of them down, and then I'm going to flip it over. And when I'm using panels of cards that I adhere to my card base, I'm starting to use our foam adhesive strips a lot rather than a ton of dimensionals, and do that now. Those strips, they are thicker, you know, more than our dimensionals, raised up a little bit higher. And because they're mainly used to create shaker cards, but they work. And to me, it's like a lot less time consuming. And the cost effectiveness is also there too at the same time. So I'm going to be pulling in my Stamparatus because the length is the same on the card base and on our image panel there. And I need to butt that up against the top just to make sure, I get a nice placement down. And you do want to center that up from, using your margins on the left and right side. You want them even there. So we got that down. And for the sentiment, I am going to pull in that champagne foil sticker. And I also did bring in champagne foil just in the annual catalog. And I'm going to lay that down. If I had to do it all over again, I would move it over to the left a little bit more. But you want the bulk of it, the bottom part, to be able to rest on top of a heart because it is a sticker. And then you have the loop on the left there for the love. In the stamp set, if I had to redo, I would have put you at the very bottom there, in between the purple and the green hearts there. So card number 2, we have a Whisper White card base, the thick. And that strip there, the top one, was cut from one of the card bases in the kit. And that piece of paper and the small one there, they were cut from the Sweet collection, the Marbled Elegance, Hearts of Elegance, designer series paper. So I'm getting all that down with liquid adhesive using the L in my Stamparatus. Watch your orientation for that small piece there if you use the same piece of designer series paper. And again, I will have all the measurements for you over on the blog at cindybdesigns.com. But as I'm putting that together, the top is going to be 1 3/4, the middle is going to be a half, and then the bottom is going to be 1 inch. So now I am dragging in the sentiment banners or strips from the kit there. And that stamp is from the Hearts of Elegance that I brought in again. And I'm just going to do some selective stamping here. I'm going to mask off the bottom of the image with some masking tape and ink up the word sending in Memento Tuxedo Black, and then get that laid down. So as I'm getting all that laid down, be sure to leave a comment under this video, and that will enter you into my monthly giveaway of this paper pumpkin kit for you. You have to be in the US. I'm still waiting for November. I haven't drawn December's yet, but I'm going to do it probably at the same time I do this because I got the plague, like I told you, and had to get, caught up quite a bit from that. So those sentiments and everything in the hearts are perforated and they come right out. And the spring is in the air dies. They are good for January, February, and March. And it'll coordinate with all those paper pumpkin kits. So I'm going to take that heart out of those dies. Champagne foil there. I already put an adhesive sheet on the back. And then I'm running that through the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And you're going to get 2 die cut images from this. You're going to get the heart in the middle. And then you're going to get the frame, the scallop frame there. And with this here, I'm going to lay down that scallop frame. Got to poke it out of the die cut first. I'm going to lay that down. There's already adhesive on the back. And then pop that on the card. And I'm doing the same thing again to get our center part of the card. And that designer series paper is from Hearts of Elegance in the Suite collection. Ran that through, and then this time around I'm going to use the middle, the center of it, but you keep the other die cut pieces for the inside of a card or another project. So I got that all done now, and this is when we're going to put everything together. When I lay down that champagne foil heart there with the scallops, I kind of want to break up that hard line at the very bottom there of the striped designer series paper, and decided to use another love sticker because I love those big sentiments, and I had some white space at the bottom. So I'm going to get that down, and I do believe I'm bringing in the heart from the stamp set in the kit, and I'm going to be stamping that around 3 times in petal pink ink there. So this is where I'm laying that down and that scallop below the line there just to break it up a little bit, and allowing me to use the designer series paper to fill my space in, so to speak. I mean, we've got 4 pieces on there and they all coordinate beautifully together. And those are the size of the Stampin' Dimensionals I was talking about earlier. So yeah, I really like those. We are going to elevate that heart with the Stampin' Dimensionals. I will do the same thing with the sentiment. That is going to go down on Stampin' Dimensionals as well. And you see that red bow off towards the right. You get that red twine in the kit. And this time I did it off screen just not to embarrass myself too much. And I'm eventually going to adhere that down with a mini glue dot there. I haven't had to get glue dots for years now because honestly I get all of mine out of the kit and I have at least 1,000 still sitting in my drawer. So I'm popping the sentiment down there right in the center of the heart. And am I going to stamp now? No, I'm going to get a little bow down there. It would also look kind of cute, you know, outside of the S over there on the left of the sentiment too. I mean, it's, you know, really up to you what you want to do. And then also in the kit, we get those cute little, I want to say they're a good cross in between Flirty Flamingo or Petal Pink hearts there. You can see through them and they have like a little bit of sparkle in them, you know, champagne color there. So this is where I'm getting the heart from the kit, stamping that around 3 times in petal pink ink. And then I am going to grab those little hearts there, place them around the card to embellish. I didn't like where that one went, and then I think I pop it up top there, yeah. And then I end up grabbing another one and pretty much put it where I pulled it up from before, but more center this time. And that is going to complete our second card there. Now for our third card coming up, you're going to see a good 10 seconds of that. I'm going to narrate that more so on the blog than here because something happened and you know how it goes. So this is pure kit contents with this one here. All I brought in was real red cardstock, and those are our cards. So thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, and get your own paper pumpkin. I will see you again next week.